Hey everybody, it's Christy from Christy's Beautiful Life. Super excited to do another Get Sketchy with Christy and Rachel. This week I decided to do something a little bit different, and I'm going to use an 8.5 by 11 layout, even though the sketch calls for a 12 by 12. So I have these three photos. I did decide to only use two of them, and they are of my son and my better half, and they are just having some fun pretending to fall asleep. It's kind of their nighttime routine before Jackson actually goes to bed. And I just kind of wanted to document how lucky they are to have each other. They've got a really special bond. I know I've documented it a few times, but it's just one of those things I just want to keep documenting over and over and over again because it is just such a special and unique bond that the two of them have. I was having a hard time deciding which pattern papers I really wanted to use for this layout. I first started with that piece of teal that you saw and eventually found another piece that I layered on top and thought that would work for another layout, so I put it aside and instead grabbed these scraps that I've had in my stash. One of them I had used for the fox layout from about a couple months ago that I had done for this, again, the Get Sketchy series. So I grabbed that piece. The reverse of it is that navy blue and white polka dot. And then I also just grabbed a piece of wood grain and then some yellow because of Jackson's shirt. It's the same yellow, and I thought that would play off well against each other. And again, it was just a scrap that I've had in my little scrap bin. I wanted to highlight one of the photos by adding a little bit of tissue paper because, as you know, that is my thing. I just love to do that. So I'm going to do that with just the top photo. The top photo isn't any more important than the bottom photo. It just happened to be the one that I decided to layer with because the bottom one had a little bit of white space I could cover up. So that's kind of where that decision came into play. I actually think I like the bottom photo a little bit better because Jackson's eyes are open, but it's okay. I don't think your eye doesn't go directly to the top photo. You kind of look over both of them. So I was happy with the way that that turned out. And so now that I've done that, I'm going to work on the rest of it. I'm still kind of thinking, I knew that part, debating on how I wanted to, which side I was going to use for the layering pieces. I was thinking a little bit about doing this as a 9 by 12 layout because that was the dimensions of it. But as I was doing it, I was like, no, I think I'll cut it and do 8.5 by 11. And you're going to see that Christy does not double check her work before she trims. And I completely trimmed this into a square. I meant to only cut off like an inch, and instead I cut off like 4 inches. And you're going to see me looking, be like, oh my God, what did I just do? So you're going to see my hands kind of flip out for a minute and all of that. But all I did is simply, I just took my trimmer back. It wasn't a big deal. And I cut off the right amount and then just grabbed a piece of scrap that I was tossing anyways. And I just used that as my backing, and I just taped these pieces of pattern papers on it. So super easy fix. I can barely tell that I accidentally cut it. I was able to cover up most of it, so not a big deal. And it's just, it happens. We do little things like this all the time, and you just have to take a moment. Sometimes you need to just walk away, but you will come up with a solution. So never fear when stuff like that happens. I then decided it would be fun to add just one more little bit of layering. So I added a piece of yellow, and that is from the Chamel collection. And I added another, I had this little tiny scrap of teal, and I wanted to add it in, and believe it or not, you're going to laugh when I tell you why. Jackson is, you can see just the tiniest bit of his diaper through his pajamas, and it's that light color. And so I'm like, oh, this matches, and so I just simply added it there because it matched his diaper. Weird, but that's where my thinking had gone. And then I'm just going to add a bunch of little layers here and there. I went through all of my stickers and pulled out as much as I could because I wanted to make this layout really fun. I have a hard time sometimes when I'm documenting just my boys. I tend to not be as picky as I am when I'm documenting like just Jackson or myself, where I'll take a little bit more time in doing things. But when it's the boys, for some reason I have this mental block where I don't try as hard on the layout sometimes. I know that's silly, but it's true. So I wanted to take my time and really make a special layout. And so what I did is, again, I went through all of my stickers that I have and just picked the ones I thought would work well, and then layered them there and did exactly what I wanted. And in the end, I'm really happy with the way that this layout turned out. I'm also going to add my title and some journaling. You see me right now trying to work on where I should place that word love. That is from the Amy Holmes, I believe that was her open book. Was it? I believe it was her open book collection, but I could be wrong. It's from one of her newer-ish collections, but not her latest one. Okay, so now I'm going to do my journaling, and it's exactly like I said, just talking about how lucky Jackson is to have a daddy that just spends time with him, and they love each other, and they basically are not separated. From the time Sean gets home until the time it's bedtime, it's Jackson and daddy time all night long. It's hilarious, and Jackson will even push me out of the room so he can hang out with daddy. It's pretty funny. So my title is pretty basic, and I'm going to use the same color on each word, and it's just titled Them Together. Really, really simple, but I didn't want to do this big, powerful title and take away from my journaling and my photos, so that's why I chose to go that route. So everyone, that's my layout. I hope you've enjoyed this one. Please don't forget to go check out Rachel's take. I believe that it's a talkover because her file was corrupted, but it'll still be great. And we'll see everyone back here in 2 weeks. Have a great day, everyone. Bye.